Welcome, and here we are for a draft recap. You might be asking what we're doing. Well, I mentioned in one of the earlier videos, we have something special going on. So, this is a draft recap for the LPDL, or the Lily Pulp Draft League, which is different from the normal draft league you see me do. This is a Little Cup Draft League. So all the games are played at level 5. We got our like some of the first mon off the board, just a little spoiler, was a Cyndaquil. And this isn't actually, now that I think about it, this isn't just a normal Little Cup Draft League. This is like a lower tier Little Cup Draft League. Because when I do these draft league things, I play a similar ladder sometimes. Like if I do Ubers, I go play around in Ubers a little bit. Then I did Little Cup, I played on Little Cup, and there's no mons like Mudbray or Brookie that are pretty good in Uber, or Mian Xiao and like those, and they're good in Little Cup, right? So it's gonna be a lot of fun, I think. We're doing it with Kaz. Me and him signed up together, and spoiler, but it looks like we get to play at the week 8, so that should be fun. So going into this, I didn't really have much of an idea what I'm doing. I tried to play Little Cup before, and I never been really good at it. So it's just kind of like vibing and letting the team builder do a lot of the EVs, moving things around where I need to be, because I don't understand those at all. But I think it'll be fun, nonetheless. So, without further ado, we're going to be moving on to the first mon on my team. So, this was the first mon I picked up. It was a Drifloon. The Ghost Flying Drifloon. Got some pretty cool abilities. I know this is the first mon I picked up, but these slides, now that I think about it, are not. They're in tiers. So we got one tier 1, got two tier 2, 3 tier 3, 3 tier 4, then a tier 5. So it's just gonna go from tier 1 to tier 5 down the list. And the rules stated I can either have tier 4s as Terra Captains, or a tier 3 and a tier 5 as Terra Captains. There's a couple other rules that I will probably cover here in a second. But before that, we got our Drifloon here. It's got some cool abilities on Burden. So I don't particularly know if anything on my team gets like terrain off the top of my head. I couldn't tell you. Sure, I can find out. Oh, it's terrain right there. Let's see. Rowlet can you grass? No, that's Grassy Glide. I don't know. I don't actually know who can do terrains or not. So I'm burdened, but there's multiple ways to proc them. We're getting berries, which are going to be very important. But this thing's bulky. This thing's fast. It can hit hard. That 90 special 90 HP is going to be a godsend at some points. But yeah. It also gets flare boost, which is pretty cool. Because I do have to be careful on what I run like Violates on and what I run berries on and other such items. Because there are rules that stating like where is the rule at? I was just reading it a second ago. Item. So moves like Baton Pass, Shell Smash, and Sticky Weather Band, along with Weather, Standing Rocks, and Light Clay. I don't usually use those anyways. But there's like a rule saying, God, where is it? I know I read it. No. Why am I not seeing it right now? Oh, battles. Only 2 of I was working in the wrong spot, my bad. Only 2 of any item can be on each team at a time. So I can only run 2 of Violates, I can only run 2 Oranberries, 2 Heavy Duty Boosts, and, you get the idea from that. So, I do have to be creative a bit with the, I just can't throw Violate on everything. As much as I love to throw it on this thing multiple times, but on Burden, doubling the speed is such a nice thing. That and Flare Boost can give me a nice little boost to my special attack whenever I need it. Special attack and attack are pretty much the same on this mon, so it's pretty much I can run things like acrobatics and other things to really hit hard. So next up, I got a tier 2. I got another really fast mon in Salandit. Gets the ability Corrosion and Oblivious. Oblivious doesn't really matter. But what's important is that Corrosion's nice. I can technically just throw out Toxics whenever I want without worry. Though I don't think Toxic's particularly worth it in Little Cup because not really long games, to be honest with you. Things are dying in a couple hits anyways. I don't think Toxicing something will be particularly helpful. But this mon is the fastest mon on my team at 77, and it has really good special attack at 71. So it is a nice, like, toy spec sweeper kind of mon. It's very frail, so it won't be taking many hits, but that's fine. Not here to take hits, it's here to blow holes through the opponent's team. Next up, my second tier 2 is Krogunk. Now, fighting types are extremely hard to come by in this tier. I was debating between Makuhita and Krogunk. Another mon in fighting type in tier 2 was Tyrogue, and I looked at it and I said, I need Krogunk or Makuhita. And I'll be honest with you, I picked Salandit first before I picked Krogunk, and it ended up being a Makuhita ended up being taken beforehand. So it is what it is. So I got put into it, but I like this mon so far. Like how that mon looks after I looking through it. Dry Skin is good for the water immunity. Everything has anticipation on my team, it seems like. And Poison Touch is for cheeky poisons, if I want to do that. But once again, I don't... Toxic Spikes is a lot more important, I think. Which I think... Landed gets Toxic Spikes, so that's something you can do. But... This thing has 61 attack and 61 special attack and a 50 speed, which is okay. Not great, but okay. But it has good move pool. Like Sucker Punch, Bullet Punch, Knockoff, Drain Punch, moves like that. So very good moves that you love to see in the game, especially in Little Cup. So next, moving on to my tier 3s. These are tier 3s, right? Yeah. I got my guy Seal here. Once again, another really good, pretty bulky mon. Very good Violet user. Slow, but it gets like 3 forms of priority. It gets Ice Shard, it gets Aqua Jet, and it gets Fake Out, which is absolutely wonderful. It gets Flip Turn, which is great for momentum. Yeah, it's a really good special thing. It can be physically tanky if I need it to be, but it's a good water mon. I think it's like in Little Cup, it's a pretty good bulky water. I like to call it. It does get Sick Fat, so which is good for counteracting my Rokrun's dry skin problem. And my team has a bit of an ice weakness too sometimes. Well, my mons, like some of my top mons like Drifloon, don't like ice, so this thing is a very good switch into it with a times 4 resist, I think it would be. Yeah, so not much more to say about it. It's a water type. I was looking through his team. It doesn't get much outside of water moves, but it's good enough to where I need it to. It does what it needs to. Next up, we got our boy Nosepass. This is my defensive tank. It is going to be defensive. And it's just bulky. 30 HP sucks, and 50 special attack and attack. But it does get body press. I checked before I drafted it. It does get body press, which is all I need on this thing. That is a body press coming off 135. So if you don't have a ghost type, you're not enjoying this mon. I was thinking of making this thing a Terror Captain, but I decided to go with my another mon. But it can always change at any time, so I do get like 5 chances to change it, so or 5 points to change stuff, so it is what it is. It's Stealth Rocker, and surprisingly gets Volt Switch, which is very nice to have. What else does it do? I'm not 100% sure. Haven't really played around with it too much, but mostly for its bulk. Once again, sucks that it only has 30 HP, but its defense can make up for it. Now, we got our Terra Captain, the big man himself, Drowsy. This thing is a bulky special tank. This thing, my team was absolutely looking terrible into Psychic types before I drafted this thing. I think this was my last pick too, and I made it a Terra Captain, so thing pops off, we'll love to see it. But I was absolutely weak to Psychic types with Slanted and Krogunk and no other resist at all, because Dark types are hard to come by. And the way I like him, too. So, got this thing. It is open Terra. We just got to announce our Terra beforehand. It's pretty slow, but it gets Calm Mind, very bulky. You can set up in front of special mons pretty easily and do some pretty nice damage with Dazzling Gleam Psychic, Shadow Wall. Pretty strong move to get. I think it'll be a fun Terra Captain. I'm looking forward to using it, actually. So, yeah. So, that's all the tier 3 that I got up. So, since this thing's a Terra Captain, I mean, like, tier 5 is going to be a Terra Captain, too. But, we'll get there then. So, next up on our list, we drafted tier 4s, which turned out to be Barboach. So, Barboach is an interesting mon. It's my ground type, pretty much. Water ground, but it's only weak to grass, which I got plenty of resist for. So that's nice. It's an interesting mon. It does get Dragon Dance, so that's one of the main reasons I decided to draft it. I was going to make this my Terra Captain originally, but as other tier 4s I got taken, I didn't really want to tear any of the other tier 4s I had, like, very much, so I decided to just move on to a tier 3 and has to be in between that Nosepass and the Drowsy that we talked about. But this thing's interesting. It's very interesting because its attack and special attack are pretty much the same. It's not particularly bulky, but it's decent speed at 60, which is kind of near the top of the tier list in terms of speed. I would say 60 is probably, I'm considering like the 110 and Little Cup here because it ain't much faster than 60. But it's so 60 is just kind of a good base to have. This is like I said, Dragon Dance. Gets some cool, gets Surf. I think it gets Earthquake. I think it gets Ice Beam, Future Sight. Stealth Rocks is one of the main reasons I got it, and a ground type, so I can't just be like Thunderbolted constantly by the by electric types. Not much more to say about this mon. So next up, we got a Rowlet. This is one of my defoggers on my team, alongside Drifloon, because I don't really want to run Drifloon with defog too often. So I like to have choices. It's pretty slow. It's got good HP, but it's pretty good mono, I think. Grass Flying, which is an interesting typing, really weak to ice, but that's where that Seal comes in to help that out. It gets some really strong moves like Brave Bird, gets Leaf Blade. It does get Roost too, which is pretty nice. It should be an interesting amount to use. Probably be my Hazard Clear more often than not if I think I need it. But it's not offensive, like, kind of offensive. Once again, 55, 50 special attack, or either way around. It can really be both. I think it's Leaf Storm, so I can do something funny like Leaf Storm Eject Pack. I think the item is that helps that. So we'll see. Next up, I did end up getting Electric type and Palmy. This thing is interesting. It has Mach Punch. To be honest with you, it's not the best thing on my team, and I feel like I can probably get something better. But it's decently fast. No defense at all. No defense at all. But decent attack stat and all that. I can probably think of something else, but See how I feel a couple weeks in. It does get nuzzle, which could be a good way to paralyze because paralysis is going to be pretty decent in this league, just because speed is like barely any difference between the lowest speed and the top speed. Everything's going just between 10 and 17, so quite easy for everything to outspeed it with a choice scarf and other such things. But once again, it has Mach Punch, it has Nuzzle. You can go run Iron Fist Mach Punch, that should do some pretty good damage. So, last but not least, we got our Tier 5 Terror Captain and Slack Off. So, this thing's got Truant, right? It's gonna do what Truant does, right? It ain't great, but it's pretty good HP, good attack, and good defense. I don't think choice bands are particularly useful in this, in the Little Cup in a league or ladder. I think I really see them just because 1.5 times 15 is what, 7? Might as well just run a Life Orb and be able to switch moves around. This thing's gonna do what Slack Off and Stack Kings do. Hit things hard if it comes. I think it gets knockoff actually. Does it, or is that just Slack Off? Or that has generated too? Drogon. No, I don't know what this thing gets truthfully. Double Edge? Giga Impact? I don't know. But it's just a tier 3. There wasn't tier 5, sorry. There wasn't many good ones, and the best ones got taken pretty much right at the start, so it is what it is. It does get play roughs, which should be fun to use. Body Slam, Crush Call, Hammer Arm. It can pretty much hit something hard and then die. I could do that. That'd be. It got uses. I think it's got plenty of uses. Playing. But we'll see how it goes. So yeah. That is the team for the season so far. Whether something changes, I'll update you probably before the match. Each match, but in general, it should be a fun season. It's going to be something I don't really do too often, so it's going to be very interesting to see how fast I can get into like the flow of it all. So yeah, that's the fun draft analysis for my Little Cup team. Just a bunch of little guys going for a stroll. So yeah, should be once again fun season. It should be a fun thing. It is Wi-Fi, so that's gonna be fun to see too. So yeah, I'll see everyone in the first match. These should be coming out on Saturdays. So get draft analysis, and then next week we got a week 1, and then so on and so forth for the week. So yeah, we'll talk again when the first game comes along. See you then.